guys, John V from PhoneArena here. You're watching our video comparison between the Google Nexus 9 and the iPad Air 2. The holidays are right around the corner and we have the best from Google and also Apple. They have a lot of great things going for them, new software, great hardware. So we're going to find out exactly how they compete against one another. It's plastic meets metal. That's the basic distinction between the two designs. There's a good reason why the iPad Air 2 is priced higher than the Google Nexus 9. That's because it has a premium quality with its aluminum casing and its incredibly thin construction. In comparison, the Nexus 9 doesn't really scream anything great with its design, but rather it has a humble and modest tone to it. As we take a look around both tablets, they have their respective ports and buttons, but with Nexus 9, we really like the fact that it offers dual front-firing speakers with HTC boom sound. And with the iPad Air 2, it's great that it has the Touch ID fingerprint sensor used to unlock the tablet. What's really interesting is that they share the same resolution of 2048 by 1536 pixels, but the iPad Air 2 has the larger display at 9.7 inches versus 8.9 inches with the Nexus 9. So when we look at them from a normal distance, it's really hard to tell apart the pixel density and superiority with the Nexus 9. But what's really nice about the display on the Nexus 9 is that it also has some really good qualities to it that are a little bit better than the iPad Air 2. For starters, it does offer the slightly higher brightness output, though both are still very visible outdoors. And on top of that, it has the slightly better color reproduction as well. But in all fairness, even though the Nexus 9 might appear to be better when it comes to the benchmark test that we run, they both are exquisite and pretty sharp looking. While the iPad Air 2 has the more profound design, when it comes to the software experience, that's where the Nexus 9 really shines. It's leaps and bounds better than iOS 8.1 in the iPad Air 2, thanks in part to the revamped and huge overhaul we find with Android 5.0 Lollipop. First of all, let's talk about the visuals. There's just a lot of nice qualities with material design with Lollipop. It just has a very clean, crisp look to it. On top of that, you have all the rich personalization with Android. But not only that, but it just has a lot more features that aren't available with the iPad Air 2. For example, you're going to have support for multiple users. So if you're in a household and you want to give it to your kids, everyone in the family is going to have their own settings and personalization. On top of that, you have other cool features such as being able to pin applications. So if you hand your tablet over to someone and they want to use it to surf the web, you can lock or pin the tablet to one specific app so they can't mess around with other things. It's those type of features that make the experience with the Nexus 9 so compelling, and it really shows the enhancements it has over iOS 8.1. Well, there's certainly no denying that these two are super responsive with basic tasks. The iPad Air 2 is powered by a triple-core 1.5 GHz Apple A8X chip based on 64-bit architecture and coupled with 2 GB of RAM. Meanwhile, the Nexus 9 has a pretty formidable dual-core 2.3 GHz NVIDIA Tegra K1 processor, also based on 64-bit architecture with 2 GB of RAM. Now, like I said, they are pretty responsive for things like navigating across the UI and even opening up applications, but when it comes to gaming, there's a big difference between their performances. It just seems like the iPad Air 2 is equipped in handling those visuals a lot better than the Nexus 9. Naturally, that responsiveness is consistent in other areas of their experiences. In particular, surfing the web, they're both more than equipped for the occasion just because they're able to handle the complex web pages with ease, and they offer very smooth navigational controls. As we take a look at their music players, nothing really different about their presentation styles and functionality, but we do like the fact that Nexus 9 speakers are on the front, so they project audio towards us instead of against, though it does sound a little bit echoey at times, but don't count out the iPad Air 2 speakers just because it's just as loud and powerful. And when it comes to watching videos, we really can't complain just because, again, we have spacious displays with both, and they have this really nice glow to them that really complements the experience. They're both paired with 8 megapixel rear cameras, so a pretty respectable tally for tablets. And when we look at their camera apps, they pretty much follow the same simple path of having very clean UIs that are pretty light with manual controls and shooting modes. Now the qualities are very similar. You're gonna get good detail with both, but with the Nexus 9, it just sometimes is finicky with its exposure. Sometimes it just looks overexposed, whereas with the iPad Air 2, it does a better job at that. At the same time, we do notice that the color reproduction is a little bit more saturated looking with the Nexus 9, but both still produce some fantastic looking shots. When it comes to 1080p videos though, it's a clear win for the iPad Air 2, just because it looks sharper, it has proper exposure, and more natural looking colors, whereas with the Nexus 9, it seems to be plagued by this saturated color reproduction and also has a tougher time maintaining focus. Now this is going to be a shock for many people just because the Nexus 9 has a smaller battery capacity than the iPad Air 2, but the Nexus 9 is able to produce the longer battery life. In our own battery benchmark test, it achieves a mark of 9 hours and 24 minutes, besting the iPad Air's 2 time of 7 hours and 27 minutes. So there's a huge gap there. When it comes to in our real world usage, you're going to get by a solid 1 day of battery life with the 2 tablets, but there's just more gas in the tank left at the end of the day with the Nexus 9. When it comes to pricing, if you're on a budget, you probably want to stick with the Google Nexus 9 because it starts only at $400, and for that much, it offers a good amount of value considering that it's a pretty high-spec tablet, performs well, takes good photos and videos, and you have also longer battery life. But the best part about it is that you're getting a full-blown, brand new experience in the form of Android 5.0 Lollipop, and it proves to have a lot more comprehensive features than iOS 8.1. Now, if money's not a concern to you, you could still opt to go with the iPad Air 2 for $500. Now, that's $100 more than the Nexus 9, but with that, you're getting a more premium constructed tablet. It looks good, it's super skinny, very lightweight, and still has some very appealing qualities to it, like the simplicity of iOS 8.1, its new features, it takes good photos and videos, but at the end of the day, it's just gonna ultimately come down to what is more important to you, the platform experience or the good looks. So if you guys want to learn more about either tablet, you can check out our website, PhoneArena.com. It's John V. Thanks for watching.